with coverage beginning at 2:30 today. Rugby union action only on NRTV. Next in
He
Neighbours.
thinks we should get rid of it. Well, maybe I'm the only one being realistic here.
It's time to make a choice.
Phoebe's body, it's her choice.
Bad news.
I think they would come to this.
And a raw deal.
Be looking forward to seeing a lot more of you.
I am not walking out that door without my clothes on.
The ultimate solution.
This is the most difficult decision I've had to make in my entire life.
You're not having second thoughts, eh?
It's a week of confrontation.
Get your hands off my wife.
Neighbours on NRTV.
Nicole thought her sister Vicky could take a joke.
You can't just disown it in the middle of the street.
Wings repossessed the Lamb Suite. Beatles about Tuesday.
Tonight at 6:30, it's New Faces with Bert Newton, followed by The Simpsons, then Uncle Buck. At 8:30, it's part one of our two-part mini-series based on the novel by Noel Barber, The Other Side of Paradise. And at 10:30, your late movie stars Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher, The Man with One Red Shoe.
Good afternoon and welcome to my Golden Years of Hollywood. We're sharing a fabulous movie today. Michael Curtiz's The Seahawk, with wonderful photography by Sol Polito, the rousing music of Eric Wolfgang Korngold, which I included recently on my record, which I'll show you at the end of the film today, plus tremendous cast. Oh, there's a lot more to The Seahawk. I could give a half-an-hour lecture on this film, picking out salient points. But let me say this before we start. The Seahawk's a 1940 production and was made almost at the request of the British government. At that time, there was the fear that Britain could be invaded. And this film was very relevant historically for what was said. And when there's talk of appeasement rather than force as a way of fixing problems, that was a direct comment about what was going on in the world. Now, Howard Koch wrote the screenplay, and he was very anti-fascist. And that's there in this film for those of you who like to look for it. Incidentally, Howard Koch wrote the play, The War of the Worlds, which Orson Welles presented on radio and caused a bit of a panic in America in the late 1930s. Although it's Raphael Sabatini's The Seahawk, the story and screenplay were actually taken from Cecil I. Miller's screenplay, Beggars of the Sea. So it isn't really The Seahawk at all, in a sense. The film was a great, expensive undertaking by Warner Brothers in 1940. But even then, they were economy-minded, and you might pick a few sets that look as if they could have been in the private lives of Elizabeth and Essex, or in Warriors, and you may even note a few shots out of Captain Blood. Errol Flynn, I guess, was at the height of his powers as a screen personality when he played Geoffrey Thorpe, a character modelled on Sir Francis Drake. And even though he wasn't a strong man in many senses, not as agile really as Tyrone Power, he still looks good, and Michael Curtiz knew how to direct him and make him look good with the help of Sol Polito and some good editing. One of the most exciting things about the film is Flora Robson, who plays the part of Queen Elizabeth I. Incidentally, she didn't want to wear Betty Davis's cast-offs from Elizabeth and Essex, so they made new gowns for her. And she's great, every inch a queen. And there's an interesting story about her and Errol Flynn. He wouldn't do his homework, he didn't always know his lines, and Flora was very disturbed that the film would take a little bit too long to make, and she'd miss a special play that she was going to do on Broadway. She told Errol, and what happened? He was so cooperative. And after she'd gone to Broadway, he sent her a lovely letter saying how he missed her. They got on extremely well after that. Claude Rains. I think he was deliberately made to look somewhat satanic in this film. He behaves in a satanic fashion. Just take a look at the next shot, and you see that satanic aspect of him even better. He's seen here with Brenda Marshall, who not very long after this film married William Holden and stayed married to him despite a rather troubled relationship. She only appeared in movies for a few years and made a comeback a few years later, but her life was more of a domestic one than on the screen. Henry Daniel, not Basil Rathbone, got into this film, and he made a fine antagonist. Now, I love his line at one point, "We serve others best when at the same time we serve ourselves." I mentioned the sets that you might see some that recall the private lives of Elizabeth and Essex. This is one such. Look at that great map. And there, seated at the table, is Montague Love, who plays the part of King Philip II of Spain. Such style, such editing, such great music by Erich Wolfgang Korngold. This is a spectacular, swashbucklingly entertainment with which you become involved and love being involved with. I hope you enjoy The Seahawk.
They thought they'd be friends forever,
What could come between two bestest buddies like us?
but everything's about to change.
Hey, what's with the skirt? What if I want to strut around nude?
Can Bart bring Milhouse to his senses?
All they do is kiss. How cute. They don't open their mouths, do they?
And all new Simpsons tonight.
Every Saturday night at 6 o'clock, something...
No, thank you.
3 o'clock and old way.
There's only one Australian urea, and for around 25 years, the man on the land has relied on it. It's Crop King Prilled Urea, the tough, free-flowing prills that give a nitrogen response which is...
We want you to be as comfortable with your home loan as you are with your new home.
Welcome again to the Corolla Cup. Toyota dealers are digging deep into their bookie bags for big payouts every day in June. Buy a new Corolla before June 30 and you could be in the running to win a Corolla or your money back. Because there's a Corolla a day being given away. But you must be a Corolla buyer to win, making the odds very good for you to share in a payout of $600,000. Toyota's here for the long run, but the Corolla Cup only runs till June 30. Have you got your money on yet?
An overwhelming impulse brought me back to the center of my country. Somewhere out there, an ancient spirit wanted to tell me something, even if it killed me. As I got closer, the message got louder. It said, have the people who gave the world the stump jump plow, the rotary clothesline, the esky, and at least 2 Minogue sisters grown complacent? After all, they enjoy a telephone system as good as anything anywhere in the world, and they're not even proud. Tell them, said the black stump. That evening at my primitive base camp, I was still shaken by my spiritual experience. Was the stump right? Is telecom being taken for granted now that the Australians can so easily stay in touch?
Darling.
If you've got the best, of course you take it for granted. What does a stump know? Telecom. Australians are so much better.
Playing for the defendant on all counts.
Success made Henry Turner's life perfect.
Glad you like The Seahawk, and thanks for your lovely comments about my record that includes The Seahawk, as well as a lot of other great movie themes. I'm so pleased you liked the illustrations in the booklet. I was thrilled about those. Well, now, next week, a fabulous movie, but next week with this fabulous movie, Deanna Durbin in Can't Help Singing, perhaps more details about the Continental Cup of Soup competition, and you could be the winner. I look forward to your company next Sunday for Can't Help Singing. Good afternoon.
Sliding into action, Bert Newton with the hottest up-and-coming new talent.
I thought that was wild. I thought it was terrific.
Don't miss New Faces, 6:30 tonight. Josephine Burns, star of Brides of Christ, with Jason Connery in the Australian miniseries The Other Side.